Hello there, Pod Posse. It's your host with Floorily Design Time from the Floor Up, me, Lindsay Wilson, otherwise known as Lindsay the Stager. And I get to interview Ashley Cantin today, coming to us live from Texas. Whoa! Hey, Ashley.
Hello. Hello. Thanks for having me on.
Hi, I'm Lindsay Wilson, and you're watching the Design Time from the Floor Up video podcast. Hold on, let me explain this because
Okay.
you cannot, right?
Because I what? Can you say that again?
I just want to explain the background because you can't
Perfect.
not, like, where am I sitting, right? Okay.
Yep.
So I am in my parents' house. I love their house. And I am proud to say that this was not their choice. They bought the house like this 10 years ago. I'm sitting here because Lindsay the Stager wants to give you a prime example of what not to do. Okay? Ready? Do you see this pattern? These drapes match the wall. I have put a clock here to differentiate. Like, look at what happens if I remove the clock. It's like all one thing.
It's just a solid piece.
It's so terrible. Yeah. I even was like, what am I going to wear? I mean, how do I not blend in? So I decided, I know, I'll wear like a black shirt with polka dots on it so that I'm not like lost in the wallpaper. Anyway, this is what not to do. My parents are like, yeah, but wallpaper is back. My point is, not this wallpaper. Okay? I will always say that. All right. So, Ashley, how are you?
I'm good. I can't complain.
What's happening in Texas at the Mo?
It's freezing at the moment. Now, when I say freezing, it's relatively freezing. We're about 48 right now. So for us, that's freezing.
Do you know what? We were like that this morning. It's like put on your coats to go to school kind of freezing.
Oh, yeah. My daughter got the bus. It was 38. It was cold.
Good Lord. Tell us about your daughters. How many daughters do you have? What are their names? You would like to share that, and how old are they?
Of course. I've got two daughters. One, her first name is Eleanor. She goes by Ella. She's 13. She will be 14 in a month, the day after Christmas. And then I can't believe it already. And then my other one, Sandra, she is 13. She turned 13 in July. And she was a micro preemie, so she was 16 weeks early. So she came a 24-weeker. So she comes with a whole lot of disabilities, and she's got cerebral palsy, and she's in a wheelchair, but she has the smile that will truly light up any room. And she stays home with me.
That's amazing. And you are such a superstar mama.
Oh, thank you.
You are so welcome. You deserve it. When she was born at 24 weeks, did they tell you that she was going to have cerebral palsy?
They pretty much prepared us for everything, honestly. She was actually born while we were on vacation visiting family in Pennsylvania. Originally, we're from Florida. So it was a whirlwind experience. I had a 7-month-old. I was pregnant with her. And then I went to the hospital. They said, oh, you're 10 centimeters dilated. She's coming. You cannot leave the state. And they really, now I don't remember a lot of it before she came because I basically just went blank. I don't remember a whole lot before she came.
Oh my God.
But my husband was there with me. And
listen, for people that can't do math like me, 24 weeks is 4 times 5 is
16 weeks early.
I know, but 24 weeks is how many months? 6? Yes.
Yep.
6 months old, and a normal term is 40 weeks.
Yes.
So that's crazy.
Yeah.
40 weeks, which is 10 months.
She was,
because you don't count the months of your period.
Oh, no. Go on. Of course. Yeah, no. Which we really should add that in because that counts. I don't care who says it doesn't. That counts.
It's true.
It really is. So she was 1 pound, 3 ounces. Originally, I always thought she was 1 pound, 8 ounces, but I was looking through paperwork and she's 1 pound, 3 ounces. So who knew?
Oh my God. Mm-hmm. That's like as much as my glasses weigh.
Yep. She fit in my husband's hand. It was unreal. It really was how tiny
Oh my
she
God.
looked. She was a little, just a little tiny little thing. But the
So,
doctors prepared us for everything possible because there are some
yes,
kids. Yeah, exactly. Yep. It was crazy how tiny she was.
believable.
And my first one, she was almost 10 pounds. So to go from an almost 10 pound and then 7 months later, I prayed I would have a smaller child for the second one, but I was hoping for like a 6 pounder. Apparently, I wasn't too
Yes.
specific. So she yeah, they prepared us for everything, and she there are kids who are completely normal who are 24 weekers. They developed. She unfortunately she had a brain hemorrhage and a lot of infections, which caused her a lot of problems in the NICU. She was there for about 160 days. So her brain
God,
just couldn't develop. Repeat that.
that's like half a year that she was in NICU
Pretty much. Pretty much. And we had to
every
stay
day.
in Pennsylvania. So my husband would fly back and forth to work. My daughter and I lived in a hotel. My parents helped out tremendously, as well as my in-laws. So it was an adventure. It really was. Some days I don't know how we made it through, and then other days I'm like, yeah, we did it. We made it to the end. So
All of our children choose us.
yes.
So, not to mention, God must completely trust you. He's going to make you like the president in heaven.
You know, it's
And
it's
not
it's
like religious, but it's true. You would never get more than you can handle. That's why I'm saying God trusts you because he thinks you can handle a lot.
So we are very religious. I am Catholic, and that truly is what kept us through and kept us going. Was our faith, and that he, everyone looks and says, "Oh, how awful it must be," that she has so many issues, and I look at it as God let me keep her. He let her be with me
Oh,
for, so far he's let me have her for 13 years, and every day is a blessing. Every day is an absolute blessing that I have her. Now they're not all joyful all the time, just like with any kids. They're not all happy days, but it truly is a
right.
blessing that every day that we get her.
So, what is really like, what I want to know is, good Lord, being the super mom of two girls that are only 7 months apart and one of them has special needs, what are you doing now that I can even talk to you and you have things under control? And what are you doing that you're going to tell us about and make this podcast better after you tell us because we need to know? What is
So
it?
so I've been a stay-at-home mom.
No pressure.
No pressure at all. No, no, no. So I've been a stay-at-home mom for about pretty much all her life, 13 years. My husband's been in the flooring business for over 20. What is he? He's almost 50. So over 25 years he's been in the flooring industry. And because he's been in that industry, I've helped him. I've, done his paperwork. I've listened to the thousands upon thousands of stories. And he's done everything from installing to inspector to salesman to you name it, he's done it. And then a couple years ago, we decided to open up our own store, which meant even though I was technically a stay at home mom, I was there in the store. I was working the store. I was doing all the background. So I have been around the flooring industry for at least 20 years. Um, and it is an interesting industry, to say the least. So now that my daughter is stable enough and she's comfortable enough, like right now she's taking a nap and getting her lunch, so I can do work on the side with her, being home with me, and it she's at a place where she's stable enough that I can work around her, which makes it nice. And I mean, honestly, the best thing to come out of COVID was the work from home. So many people went work from home, and it makes it so easy for some, because I couldn't leave the house because I have no one to help. I don't have a nurse. I don't have any family here in Texas. So I couldn't work outside the house. So with having the ability to stay home and work makes it flexible where I can do both now.
I love talking to people and learning about why they have come into my life, why they have come into my life, and what they can teach me. And just when I'm about to like throw the towel in or jump off the deck, there are mamas like you. I have, I had the, I had a hard time getting pregnant just because I was later in life at 38 and 45. I know it's crazy. We'll talk about that later, but I had a hard time getting pregnant, but I had easy pregnancies, and now I have amazing, perfect. Well, not every, they're not perfect, but you know
Well,
what I
they're
mean. Like,
perfect to you. Yeah.
of course, and that's what I'm trying to say. Your children are perfect to
Yep.
you, which is such an amazing perspective that we can give as mamas to other mamas who are hopefully listening to this. And well, as mamas, what do we know about hacks? Anything? Hacks and what do we know?
It's so funny with the world of social media. It started with Facebook, and then Instagram came, and then TikTok came. I'm sure that I'm missing a million. I feel old because I'm not
You know
super
what's huge
versed.
is Snapchat is huge with the kids right now.
Oh, yes. I'm so far I've been able to hold off my daughter on getting Snapchat. She's just not I just can't go there yet with her. So far she has no social media except Pinterest. And apparently Pinterest you can access everything anyway. So I don't know if it's a losing battle, I think. I guess.
Oh,
Yeah. Like they've got TikToks on Pinterest now and all these other stuff. So I think I'm losing that battle slowly but surely.
so one of my greatest fears in life is choking, like children choking. I have like the thing that if something happens, you can like
Oh, I've seen
suck it.
that. Yes.
Yeah, I like have it. I have to have it. And so then there's Tide Pods, which is like, I understand the concentration and the small thing, but to my almost 3-year-old, it looks like something out of the Halloween bag that we're still eating.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, why have Tide Pods? And also, they need to have like, I know that they have the safety lock, but then that means that I can't open it, and I just end up cutting the stupid thing open, and it's exposed, and for
That's
more to eat and choke on and die.
I can wrap my head around a 3-year-old going after a Tide Pod, but I can't wrap my head around a 16-year-old going after a Tide Pod and why that became a trend. And it just didn't make any sense to me. But
Hold on,
people
this became a trend. What are you talking about?
oh, eating like it was like they have a bunch of TikTok stuff like they were trying to eat Tide Pods and trying to do this and it basically anything you can kill yourself with is what they try and do. It's bananas. Hmm. Yeah, it's never
When
ending.
they eat the Tide Pod, do they die?
Some of
Do they
them,
live to tell about this?
no, some of them do, and some of them don't. Yeah, it's crazy. All of these bizarre, I don't know, trends on TikTok. I don't get it. I don't know if I'm too old or what, but I don't understand it. But the big Tide Pod thing, people use those. Now, that was designed for laundry concentration, right? To do your laundry with. People have decided
Right.
to use that Tide Pod in like a wash bucket for your floor or in to clean your tub, to clean all this stuff. But that's not what it's for. Its sole purpose was for laundry. And yet now people are using it all over the place. And
It's ridiculous.
it's so dangerous because they're not thinking about what kind of chemicals are in the Tide Pod that you could ruin your
It's
tub
like,
with.
seriously, how much harder can it be to be a parent these days?
Oh, yes.
The stuff that is thrown on at us constantly. Remember, I mean, when I was growing up, we could drink water out of a hose from a
Oh, I
neighbor's
know.
yard,
Yep.
and we could stay out all day during summer, and we didn't have to come home until it got dark. Speaking of parents, I want to tell you, I'm like at my parents' house. I'm upstairs, they're downstairs. They know very well that I'm hosting a video podcast. So here comes my dad. Knock, knock, knock. Doesn't
Oh,
wait for me to answer. And he like looks at me and I'm like, Dad, I'm doing a video podcast. You can't be in here. And he has that like, do you need a snack look on his
oh,
face?
but that's so
And so then
sweet.
like, I know.
So
And then he
sweet.
like ducks. out. He ducks back out. And I'm like sitting here like cringing and sweating and like, oh my God. And then he comes back again after I just told him what I'm doing again. And then he says, I just wanted to make sure you didn't need anything. And I'm like, oh, Dad,
Oh,
I
what?
love you. Please leave me alone.
See,
I'm
in my
trying to do this.
house, you can't say, with my parents, you cannot say no to food. Like, if you're offered food, you don't have a choice. Is that really an offer? It's more of like, I'm going to get you something, so just pick. Or you're
Fair.
gonna, yes. And
Fair.
my poor husband is just, he wasn't used to that in the beginning. And my mother is a phenomenal cook, but she would say, well, eat this. Do you want this? Do you want this? And he's like, no, I can get it. I'm good. I'm good. He would always say no until finally he realized, he's like, yes, sure, I'll take it. Cause then the questions will
I know.
stop.
So I married my husband, my third husband. 1, 2, 3, count them. He's my third. And his grandmother and mother like have always cooked for him. I'm like, I need a recipe for ice. Okay. I am so not a cook. I mean, I know that all you have to do is read a recipe and I'm capable of reading and I can make a meal and I have and I do because I have to feed my family. But I'm like, oh, you are not with the right person because I'm not going to cook for you and like feed you and like plump you up. I'll give you a lot of affection and we'll laugh a lot and do illegal things together, but I am not your chef.
I
So he likes to cook.
I wish I could cook like my mother. I mean, I'm not. I'm an okay cook and an okay baker, but the problem is my husband doesn't like spices. And he's a very
Oh,
traditional meat and potatoes. He likes pizza. He likes these are the things he likes, and he doesn't really like to deviate from that. And I get
right.
so bored and so annoyed that I'm just like, "Ugh, I don't care. Cook a pizza, whatever. Like I can't
That's
keep doing
so
that.
funny. It reminds me a red flag that I should have seen way back with my starter husband was he didn't like fish. No sushi,
Oh
no
no.
peel and
Mm-mm.
eat. And and that's like my go-to. Like I can eat a tuna pulled out of the ocean and eat it like with wasabi and soy sauce on the dock out of its belly. Boom! I will eat that tuna.
My
Anyway,
husband is no seafood, nothing other than tuna fish,
like
which by the time you put stuff in it, it's not tuna fish anymore. Like it doesn't even resemble tuna fish.
it's like mayonnaise with tuna fish.
Oh, and mustard and relish and this and that. Like it doesn't even look like tuna fish. You could literally put anything in this dish, and it just doesn't even have to use tuna fish. He doesn't even like the smell of seafood.
Do you like seafood?
I do. I love seafood. I love seafood, and my daughter loves seafood.
So isn't it interesting? Like, for instance, I drink a lot of red wine. Not white wine, not rosé, red. Cabs, Pinots, Syrah, Shiraz, not Merlot. But that's my jam. My husband doesn't drink wine. We cannot share a bottle of wine. So as with my starter husband, the no seafood was a red flag. This no red wine is not a red flag because he will have a bourbon while I'm drinking a glass of red wine. And also, this is all crap because you decide what you will put up with.
Exactly. Oh, wholeheartedly. I mean, you can put up with pretty much anything if they're worth it. And if they're not worth it, you won't put up with shit. Like you just won't put up with anything. So it doesn't matter.
I have absolutely no proof for this theory of red flag whatsoever. I'm completely talking out of my asshole. Thank you
but
very
it
much.
but it makes you feel good, so that's okay. That works.
I mean, well, yeah. Well, I think we were on Tide Pods or something.
I think so. Yes. Oh, with
Oh,
like
one of my biggest pet peeves, Ashley. I want to know if this is something that you suffer from. Do you use Tide Pods?
no, I don't. Because
So let me just see if you can relate to this. Sometimes I use Tide Pods if they're having like a mega sale. It's not my thing, but I do like the dishwasher pods. But I have
love
a
those.
locked thing so that little 3-year-old doesn't. My biggest pet peeve though is that I did buy because it was on sale this like year no life supply of that detergent that like sits up on the shelf and you can like undo the thing and it like drips out into the
Yep.
cup over the
Hmm.
okay. That stupid thing drip, drip, drips. There's soap all over the top of the washing machine. You know what I should do? I just realized this. I should leave the lid open and then it's already ready with the soap in it the next time I do laundry.
Do you know that they actually sell a spill cap for that?
What? Why
Yeah.
didn't I come up with that?
Yes, it's the stupidest thing in the world. The guy's probably going to be a billionaire, but it's a little cap that sits and it's a tray that's attached to the pushy thingy or whatever it is, and
Oh
it'll
my
catch
God,
any dripping.
because I can't think of a little Tupperware container that I could put under it to catch the soap, even when I'm complaining about this. Do I do that?
No.
No. Does some a stupid idea that happened that is the solution and becomes a billionaire? Yes.
I'm still trying to figure out. I gotta get a new washer and dryer, but mine still works sort of, and I just hate them all. I don't know what happened to any of them. Like there's no. I have a front loading, and I've had it for about almost 10 years, and I want to get a top loading, but now the agitator comes out. They're different shapes. I'm like,
I
why?
know.
And why do I have to activate my laundry from my phone? I don't want that ability. I don't want to do laundry on my phone. I have to do enough on my phone as is.
Seriously, I just furnished an Airbnb that you could do the laundry from the phone.
The Design Time from the Flora podcast is sponsored by Floorily, your premier source for designer-inspired floors. Use Floorily's live chat with real human beings to answer your flooring questions and even book a free in-home consultation.
Oh, hi.
Okay,
Oh,
so
hi.
oh hi, hello, welcome back. So I've got a question for you. I am a lazy creator. Like my house does not have all of the crazy canisters. My house does not have like everything laid out perfectly. How often do you see that in when you're staging a house? Like how important is that stuff? Like all the matching
Okay.
canisters and all the matching this and all the appliances with the same damn color.
This is such a great question. Thank you for off the Tide Pods. All right. So this is part of what I do. I go into your home before we have even decided a listing date or scheduled photography because we have to have this initial consultation. Let's say you're not selling. You're just Ashley and you want me to come and do a stage to live. And you
That's a
say,
thing?
oh my God, yes, I could
Shut
totally come to
up.
Texas.
Oh god, I
And because
desperately
you've been,
need that.
yeah. And I say to my client, you start pouring wine, I stop charging. So if you want to pay me like that, I can Texas and do a stage to live.
Oh, it's on.
Okay. So with the canisters, here's the deal. When I go into your home for the initial consultation, I am shopping your home as if it's my store because I am an occupied staging specialist. I do not have inventory and I do not want to. I have worked with a company before where we had a warehouse and 50 rugs, 20 sofas, accessories for days, 1,000 kind of dishes. When you have to pull that every time for a different home and it's a specific style, it's terrible. So I love, and not to mention somebody has to pack it up too, which
Oh
also
yeah.
sucks. There's a lot of overhead, there's movers, there's trucks. This, what I do, is so much easier. I go in and I only use what you have. Unless I see a wood grain dining room table that is matching the same wood grain in the floor. I want there to be a contrast in between there because they get lost. And also it brings in the coziness. So I say, if you're moving, I say, what if we make an investment? And we go to rugsusa.com. Rugsusa.com, you're welcome for this shout out. But I do love their inexpensive, high quality, fantastically stylish rugs. I use them in my personal home. Love it. So I say for a few $100, let's get this rug. Or if they have absolutely no money to spend and they're completely strapped and they're going through a terrible, terrible divorce and the husband or the wife doesn't want to help with any of the selling of the house, I say, fine, let's borrow it. Let's steal it. Let's, go to get a used one at a thrift store or whatever. So when it comes to canisters, back to your initial question, another thing that I put up with my husband because I really like him a lot. He wants to have the spices and the cooking utensils in the thing next to the stove with the knife block. And there's so much crap on the counters I can't even see anything.
Yeah.
So to you, I say no canisters unless you have to have your hands on them. But literally the canisters are sugar, flour, rice, pasta. Put it in the pantry. I think having less on your countertops is way better. If you said canisters because you are talking about accessories, that's a different thing. Are you?
Okay. Well, no, I was like, I love Pinterest because I love looking at what I will never do, basically. I just go in and create all of these wonderful boards, and I'm like, I would love this, knowing realistically that I will never do a single thing in that board. But you have the pantries that are organized to the hill, and everything matches on the countertop.
Right.
Yes, is that real? I mean, is that part of the staging process, or?
But also listen to this. You are a working mama and you are not into interior decorating except when you go to Pinterest. I do it for a living and I never go to Pinterest. And if I do, it's for a random request. Like I have a client that says, I want to do my entire living room in hues of pink and I want it to be circled around this one light fixture. And I'm like, fuck.
Holy shit. I don't even know how you do that.
But crazy requests like that. So I'm like, oh my God, that is not in the picture repertoire, much less my brain. So I may go to Pinterest just for an inspo.
Okay.
But I'm not on it constantly or anything like that. But let me tell you one thing about accessories. There are knickknacks and there are accessories. If you can go through your house and remove everything that is the size of your hand or smaller, then you are going to create more space. I never use accessories in my homes that are smaller than my hand unless, and this is where I break all the rules like I do constantly, because when you know the rules, you can break them. Or when you make them up, you can break them.
Exactly.
Like I do. But if I'm looking, I call it a little schmuck. If I'm looking for here's my earbud case. If I have a pile of books and I have them just so, but I need a schmuck at the top,
like a
then
kachki.
I'm looking for something in my hand. Yeah. Like a ramekin or a tiny candle or a little something, like a little porcelain turtle. I find shit everywhere and the craziest places. But did I answer your question about canisters?
Yes, you did. Yes. Yes, you did. So how often when you go to stage a home?
Have canisters or are you not going to buy them now?
Oh, no, I'm against canisters. Only because if I can't see it, it doesn't exist. I love this new style where everything on the counter has its own each appliance has its own garage door almost on the counter.
The coffee maker behind.
I love that, but I know now I drink a pot of coffee a day. I love coffee. If it was behind a garage door, I would forget it was there. I need to see it or it doesn't exist.
Me too.
I don't know how.
In my closet, if I have shoes that I can't see, I will not know that I have them.
Oh, no, exactly. No. If it's out of sight, out of mind kind of thing for me. I don't know how people do it.
Clean countertops.
I love that, but realistically, that's not going to happen. I wish it could, but I need to see it. I don't know. So how often when you go in to stage a home, you've got the knickknacks and you've got that all settled, how often are people replacing the floors? Is that realistic option? Yeah.
And we're back. Yes, it's an option. Here's the deal. If I walk into a home and I say, how long have you lived here? And they say 12 years. And I say, have you replaced the carpet since you've been here? And they're like, no. I'm like, ew! Everybody's going to see that.
Yep.
And what people think is 12 years of your feet and all of that. It's so dirty and disgusting. So I say we need to replace the carpet because this is another thing that I like to say. I am the kind of stager that I don't want the buyer to have any questions. When
That's
they come to
nice.
this home, the carpet has been replaced. It is brand new. Because if they do have questions and they see that the carpet that needs to be replaced, they're already spending your money instead of giving you a higher offer.
Oh, that's so smart.
So they're like, oh, we need to paint this bathroom because it's canary yellow.
Yep.
We need to replace carpet because it's 12 years old. So yes, we have to replace carpet. I replace carpet just because replacing carpet is cheaper than adding LVP, engineered floors, or hardwoods.
Yep.
And that's just for a sell.
Oh, yeah, of
when
course.
you buy the home and you still want to replace the floors because you know that we just put in low pile builder grade carpet to make it look good, then here's the deal. You either want LVP or you want hardwoods. There is no convincing the buyer of what they want. Yep. They either want something or the other.
Yep. I agree. That makes perfect sense. Now, how many people, after you've staged their house, have decided not to sell because it looks amazing?
11. No, I'm just kidding. No, I don't know how many people. Oh, how many people have staged their house? Okay. So that is so cute that you asked that because when I stage the home, the realtor comes back and the seller comes back and we walk through and it's like this grand reveal. Ta-da! And they see all of the things that I've changed and what I've done, and I give them tips of how to live in a staged house with kids and dogs and all the things. And then they go, oh my God, why didn't I think to do that? Why have I been living here? Why didn't I ever put that chair right there next to that window where I could have had the reading nook and and then they look at the realtor and I'm like, don't say it, because that realtor is going to be like, I am never bringing Lindsay the stager back to any of these things like ever. So they say it, but they still go. And then the solution to that is, Lindsay the stager, would you come and help our new home look as pretty as the one that you for us?
Yes. Perfect.
So that like more than half the time, which is the greatest compliment ever, because the best thing about that is I know their things, I know their style, I know how they live, because when I meet these people, we're like in it. I've met their family, I know their dogs, I know where they keep their bras, what's in their bedside table drawers, if they've had boxers come out the bottom of the bed, all the things.
So I can only imagine what you find. I can only imagine what you find that people just are like, oh, that's where that went.
And I get paid for it, and people trust me, and they've like known me for 2 hours. Anyway, which is fine. I love that. But so I go into their new home and I say, remember how you had a sectional in the bonus room of your old house? What if we put that in this, and then we used this, and then we brought in this and did this and this and this? And they're like, oh yeah. And so it's like their furniture has already told me where it wants to be. And then when I walk into their new house,
that's that vision. I'm so impressed with people that can envision that. Like I remember, God, it must have been 10 years ago, we bought a couch. And of course, the warehouse where we bought it, or the showroom where we bought it, it looked like a normal size couch. And I was like, oh, this will be perfect. We even measured it realistically. I'm like, oh, this will work great. They brought it in and I had an absolute panic attack going, I bought a giant's couch. How in the hell did I think that this giant couch was going to fit in my living room? And I measured. I thought I did everything I was supposed to, but I just could not see the end result. I just don't have that vision ability. And I'm so jealous of those people that have it. And I even called my mom panicking, going, Mom, I have guests coming tomorrow. Where the hell? What are they're going to sit on a giant couch? This is ridiculous. Who buys this stuff? And sure enough, about 2 weeks in, I'm like, oh, it makes sense. It fits. And now we have that same couch. And I'm like, this is really small. Like, we probably need to go bigger now. But that initial panic of, holy shit, what did I just do? I'm screwed.
So here's what I want you to always remember. There are things that you need to just make a living room work. You need a couch, which I like to call a sofa or a sectional.
Yep.
I just think that the word sofa is like calling your kid a child instead of a kid,
It sounds
right?
nicer. Yeah.
It's like respect to the furniture.
Yep.
Sofa.
Yep.
Sofa gives the couch more respect. Okay. So you have your
I like
sofa.
that.
I just made it up. Thanks. Um,
You
so you
should
have
write
your
a book
sofa.
and just start writing this stuff down.
Oh, I know. Oh, that's a whole other podcast. Okay. So you have your sofa, and then we need something in front of the sofa to put your feet on, or to put your drink on, or to put your whatever on.
Okay, so pause that. What if I have the seats of a sofa, like the lounge chairs, so I can't have our end tables acceptable to replace the table in the middle?
No.
Damn it. Well, shit.
I know.
Now I'm going to be buying a end table.
So hold on. Why can't you? Are you saying that you have two lounges on either side of your, like, do you have the U-shaped sectional?
We have the L-shaped sectional, and one end is like has a lounge chair at the end, and then the the other two have the seat that become like the seats lift up. I don't know what the technical term is.
Oh, right.
There we go. Recliners. Yes.
Okay, so here's the solution. Ready? You get a round fabric covered ottoman that you can move away when you recline the other two seats. And then when you do that, like you leave your living room pulled together, right? Yeah. You have your round table that fits in the middle of the U-ish, right? And then maybe somebody's on the loungy part and not on the recliner part, so you can still leave the round upholstered ottoman. That's what it's called, in the middle. And then if somebody does recline, then you just have it way less enough that you can push it out. And you have the room to do that, hopefully.
Yes.
And then there are these amazing, you can get them on Amazon, Home Goods, whatever. And they're like, it's like a sharp C-shaped side table that like pushes right up to the sofa where you can put your drink.
Oh,
we've got
like a C-shaped one on the end, but we don't have anything in the middle. And then I just feel like we're missing something. You know, like it needs something.
So that's why fabric covered ottoman works so well, because so you can put your feet up on the fabric covered ottoman if you're sitting in the middle, not on the loungy part, the reclining part. And then you put a tray on top of the soft fabric covered ottoman to put your drink on. So that's a solution. You can always use a wooden tray to put on the ottoman.
Can you use those? Like, are we still into storage ottomans, or is that over?
Sure. It's just that you can't put anything on top of the ottoman if you're going to rip a blanket out, because then you have to take everything off and take the blanket out. And I just feel like that makes it hard for moms, because we're like always have, not to mention the glass of wine on the tray, in our hand, on our head.
And the likelihood of my kid not paying attention and just ripping up a blanket is pretty high. So that would would just fling right off. Yeah.
Yeah, don't put that in. Maybe we can call this Tide Pods, Sectionals, and Solutions. I don't know.
I like it.
Like pretty going on here, Ashley, but I think it's been really fun to talk to you.
I've had a great time. Thank you so much.
You're so welcome. I wish I could come and help you with your house, and I would do it for wine in Texas.
Anytime. But don't come in summer because it's hotter than crap. But definitely like fall, early spring is beautiful.
I know. And also, are you so organized that you already have your Christmas stockings up?
Yeah, I have my whole house decorated. So I don't ever do, like, my Thanksgiving consists of like turning around the jack-o'-lanterns as their pumpkins. And since I don't ever do Thanksgiving here, we're going to Florida to visit family for Thanksgiving. So I thought, you know what? Screw it. I love Christmas. I'm the person who's listening to Christmas music in October. Like I'm not super into Halloween. I like Thanksgiving because I love the food, but I just don't like the decorations. I'm like, you know what? If I lived somewhere with an actual fall, I think I would like it more. But I've lived in Florida and Texas. There is no fall here. It's either
Yeah.
hotter than shit or cold. That's it. Like, those are the options. So
you need like leaves and like a harvest of wheat.
yes, like that would make sense. Like when somebody's sweating, putting like the hay bale and the pumpkin stuff out, I'm like, this doesn't quite work. So at least with this,
I know, but you're the one right now.
but it's cold. See, I'm in like sweaters and stuff, so it even feels Christmassy. But yeah, no, I did the whole house. I can't do the outside legally until December 1st because of our stupid HOA, but that'll happen. As soon as I'm allowed to, it's going up.
Well, thank you so much for talking to me today about hacks and
yes.
Tide
Thank you
Pod
so much
and
too. I've learned so much. I had no idea stagers do live-ins, and I'm so excited to talk more about that.
stage to live. Let me show you how your house is supposed to be. You got all the stuff for me to use, and I'll just make it work.
Yes.
That's
I
what I
also
do.
need that for my life too. So we can do the house and then the rest of my life. That would be great.
All right, right over.
Well, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. It was great being here.
Okay. Awesome. Thanks, Ashley.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye, Lindsay.
Pod posse. I almost said pod squad because that's what Glennon Doyle calls her podcast listeners, but ours is called the pod posse. So catch back with me next time. See ya laters, baby.
Thanks for watching. If you're enjoying this episode, please like, comment, or subscribe. If you don't like it, then